The desert around the small human colony was quiet, endless and filled with broken metal from old wars. Most of the machines were long dead, sunburned, and rusted, but one morning, the guards dragged in something different, something large, dark, and shaped like a fallen beast from the stars. It was a crashed ship. The colony gathered around it with excitement. People whispered, pointing at the strange lines on its hull. The metal was smooth and black, but it did not match any human design. It felt older and stranger, like it came from a time no one remembered. Then the laughter began. "Just scrap," one man said with a grin. "It's useless," another added. "Only Eldon will waste his time on this trash," the guards joked. And they were right about one thing. Eldon, the old mechanic, the quiet man with tired eyes and dusty clothes, walked toward the wreck with slow steps. He touched the hull gently, almost like greeting an old friend. The metal was cold under his fingers, but something about it felt alive, not warm, not moving, but alive in a silent way. Eldon looked closer. Feeling a strange pull in his chest, the others rolled their eyes. "The old man is dreaming again," they laughed. "He thinks he can fix anything." But Eldon did not listen. He never listened to their jokes. He only listened to machines. And this machine was speaking without words. It was calling him. The colony leaders ordered the wreck to be stored behind the workshop. No one cared what happened to it. Everyone knew Eldon would spend his nights working on it, getting dirty and achieving nothing. But Eldon saw something they could not see. He saw a shape in the damage, a pattern under the dust. He saw a purpose that was not lost yet. That night, when everyone slept, Eldon returned to the wreck. The desert wind was cold, and the sky was full of soft blue stars. Eldon opened his toolbox and began cleaning the ship, gently wiping away sand, broken wires, and burnt plates. He worked slowly, carefully, like a doctor treating a sleeping patient. With every piece he repaired, the ship seemed to breathe a little easier. Eldon did not understand why, but he felt it. The ship wanted to wake up. At midnight, a small light blinked on the inside of the hull. Eldon froze. The ship had no power source, no battery, no working core, yet something inside its dark heart still moved. He leaned in, touched the surface again, and whispered, "You are not dead." "Are you?" The light blinked again, once, twice, then stayed steady. Faint but alive, Eldon smiled softly, a warm smile he had not made in years. The wreck no one wanted to touch had spoken to him. Not with words, not with sound, but with a single small light, a heartbeat returning after a long sleep. And Eldon knew, without any doubt, he was not fixing a dead ship. He was waking something ancient, something powerful, something that had chosen him by morning. The wreck looked almost the same from the outside, dark and silent, but Eldon felt different. He felt watched, not in a dangerous way, but in a patient way, like the ship was waiting for him to return. When Eldon walked into the workshop, a few men laughed. "You fix it yet? Or did the trash eat your tools?" Eldon only nodded quietly and continued his work. He did not tell them about the blinking light. He did not tell them that the wreck seemed to breathe. If he said anything, they would only laugh harder. At noon, Eldon returned to the ship. He placed his hand on the metal again, and something strange happened. The surface warmed under his touch. Like the ship recognized him, Eldon stepped back in surprise. "You remember me," he whispered. The ship answered by opening a small panel he had never seen. It slid sideways with a soft hiss, revealing clean, untouched circuits glowing with faint blue light. No one else was around, no one else saw it, only Eldon. He knelt down and studied the wires. They were unlike human design. They had no shape, no direction. They flowed like veins. Eldon followed them deeper until he reached a core hatch. It opened for him as well, letting him inside the ship for the first time. Inside, the air felt warm, soft, almost alive. The control room had no chairs, no screens, no buttons. Only smooth walls and gentle lights that shifted every time he moved. And then it happened. A voice, soft, broken, mechanical and alive at the same time, whispered inside the room. "Pilot." Eldon froze. The ship had spoken. Not through speakers, not through sound, but directly into his mind. He searched for anyone around him, but he was alone. The ship spoke again. "Pilot." "Return, fix." Eldon touched the inner wall, feeling a pulse under his hand. The ship was waking up piece by piece, remembering him, trusting him later. When Eldon told the colony guards that the ship had opened itself to him, they burst into laughter. "So now the garbage talks to you?" Maybe the old man is losing his mind, but the tone changed when one guard tried to touch the wreck. The moment his hand neared the hull, the metal flashed once. Not bright, not violent, but enough to sting. The guard jumped back in fear. "What was that?" "It shocked me." Eldon watched quietly. He understood. The ship had protected itself. It allowed only him to touch it. The colony soon started spreading rumors. Some said the ship was cursed. Some said it was alien magic. Others said Eldon was controlling it secretly. The leaders warned him to stop working on it. They said it was dangerous, unpredictable, a threat. But Eldon ignored them. He returned each night, cleaning circuits, repairing systems, speaking softly to the ship as if speaking to an old friend. The bond between them grew stronger. One night the voice returned louder, clearer. "Pilot. Danger. Coming." Eldon's heart froze. The ship was remembering something important, something frightening. It showed him broken images in his mind, stars burning, metal freezing, ships exploding, and something dark chasing the wreck across galaxies. Eldon stepped back slowly. Whatever this ship was running from, it was still out there, and it was coming closer. The scrapyard was quiet when dawn came. Soft light touched the broken ship, making the metal shine like it was waking up after a long sleep. Old Jorn stood beside it, holding a small cup of tea. Staring at the huge silent body that he had worked on for days, he still could not explain it. He only knew one thing: the ship listened to him. It reacted to him. It moved for him. And that truth both excited him and scared him. The sun rose a little higher, spreading warm gold across the wreck. Jorn stepped closer and placed a hand on the cold hull. "Morning, old friend," he whispered with a shy smile. He felt stupid talking to metal, but he could not stop himself. Something inside him said the ship understood. Something told him it was waiting as he spoke. A faint vibration ran under his palm. Jorn froze. The vibration grew stronger. Like a heartbeat made of steel, the ship's surface slowly warmed under his hand. He pulled back in shock, staring with wide eyes. No. "This can't be real," he muttered, but it was real. The ship was waking up. Lights flickered along the edges of the broken panels. They didn't glow steady. More like blinking eyes trying to open for the first time in years. A soft hum rose from the inner core, deep and powerful. It was not the sound of a machine starting. It was the sound of something alive, stretching after a long sleep. Jorn stepped back, breathing fast. His heart pounded, but not from fear. He felt something else, a strange connection, like the ship was reaching out to him, like it remembered him, like it trusted him. The scrapyard around him felt colder suddenly. It felt too small for what was happening. The ship's central eye-around sensor glass at the front shuddered as if trying to open. A thin crack of blue light appeared across it. Glowing softly, Jorn stared, unable to move. He knew old warships could not do this on their own. He knew no scrap metal could react like this. This was impossible. And yet, it was happening right in front of him, A voice came, not from outside, but inside Joran's mind. It was soft at first, like a whisper carried through a long tunnel. "Pilot confirmed," it said. Joran froze again, his breath catching. "Pilot?" He whispered. He stumbled backward, shaking his head. No, I'm not a pilot. I'm just a mechanic." But the ship disagreed. "Identity accepted," the voice continued, calmer now, stronger now. "Awaiting command." The lights on the ship brightened all at once, casting long shadows across the scrapyard. Energy surged through the broken frame as ancient systems reactivated. The ground under Joran's feet vibrated softly. It felt like the heartbeat he felt earlier was growing stronger. Awakening, returning, choosing. Joran's mouth went dry. "Why me?" He whispered, "Why choose me?" The ship answered with only one word. A word filled with purpose, power, and something like loyalty. Worthiness. And in that moment, Joran knew one thing with absolute clarity. His quiet life was over. The galaxy had just changed, and he was at the center of it. Night arrived fast over the colony. Cold winds moved through the empty scrapyard, carrying dust across the metal remains of old machines. But one machine was not silent anymore. One machine was breathing, humming, waking. Joran stood inside the ship now, deeper than he had ever gone before. The inner walls glowed with soft blue veins of light, pulsing like blood in a living creature. The air was warm and strangely clean. Nothing smelled like rust or age. Instead, the place felt new, like it had been rebuilt from the inside out. As he walked, the floor shifted under his feet, forming smooth paths where he stepped. It felt like the ship wanted to guide him, to welcome him, to show him where to go. Joran reached the core chamber at the heart of the ship. The room had no controls, no switches, no screens. Just a floating sphere of white-blue light. Turning slowly in the air, it glowed brighter when he entered. The voice came again, clear and calm inside his mind. "Pilot present. Systems awakening." Joran swallowed hard, trying to breathe normally. "I told you," he whispered. "I'm not a pilot." The sphere pulsed softly. "Correction," the ship answered. "You are chosen." A low hum rose through the walls, growing deeper, stronger, like a massive heartbeat echoing through the hull. Lights activated across the ship in perfect sequence. One after another, outer armor plates shifted and locked into place. Broken pieces reformed with smooth, liquid motion. Wings extended outward with a soft metallic roar. The entire scrapyard shook as the dead ship began to rebuild itself piece by piece. Like a creature regrowing lost parts. Outside, colony guards ran into the scrapyard with weapons raised. "What's happening? Who turned the wreck back on? Is it going to explode?" They aimed their rifles at the rising glow, panic spreading through them. But the ship responded before any shot could be fired. A shimmering barrier formed around the hull, a soft shield of blue light that pushed everyone back without harming them. A warning, a message: do not interfere inside. Joran felt the ground tilt as the ship lifted slowly from its resting place. He stumbled, catching himself against the wall. "What are you doing?" he shouted, voice shaking. The ship answered with a calmness that felt almost comforting. "Preparing for activation. Threat detected." Joran's chest tightened. "What threat?" The sphere dimmed for a moment, showing him images again, only this time clearer. Sharper, terrifying, a massive alien fleet. Glowing red and black, moving through the stars like a storm. Cruisers, carriers, destroyers, thousands of them. They were searching, scanning, hunting. "They are coming for me," the ship said softly. "They will arrive soon." Joran felt his knees weaken. "They want this ship back?" "Yes," the ship replied. "They believe I belong to them." The hum of the engines grew louder. shaking the entire scrapyard outside. People screamed and ran as the wreck the ship rose above the ground, glowing like a newborn star fully awake for the first time in decades. Joran stared at the pulsing sphere, heart racing. "What do you want me to do?" he whispered. The ship answered with quiet certainty. "Survive. Do not let them take me. Pilot. Prepare for launch." And with a burst of blinding blue light, the ship awakened completely, its power no longer hidden, its mind no longer sleeping, its choice already made. It had chosen Joran, and now it was ready for war. The night sky above the colony tore open like a wound. Red streaks of fire cut through the clouds as the alien fleet arrived. Their engines screamed across the atmosphere. Glowing with hunger and rage, they had come for the ship. They had come for their lost weapon, but they found something they were not ready for. They found Joran and the ship that had chosen him. The awakened warship rose into the sky with smooth, perfect motion. Glowing with lines of blue light that danced like living veins, the colony below watched in fear and awe. This was no longer a wreck. This was a legend reborn inside. Joran stood in the core chamber, gripping the railing as the ship climbed higher. "I'm not a fighter," he whispered, voice trembling. "I'm a mechanic," the ship answered gently. "You repair, you protect. You create. That is why I chose you, above the colony." The first alien vessel opened fire. A massive beam of red energy shot toward them, bright enough to light the clouds for miles. Joran flinched, but the ship moved on its own. A shimmering blue shield unfolded around the hull, absorbing the attack like it was nothing. The beam faded, leaving the sky silent again. "Enemy intent confirmed," the ship said calmly. "Defensive systems active. Weapons emerged from the wings, not crude cannons, but sleek, glowing constructs of energy formed by the ship's own mind. They didn't look like weapons built for destruction. They looked like tools of precision, tools of someone who understood creation and repair better than war." The alien fleet advanced, thousands of lights filling the night sky. But the ship moved with grace no machine should have. It slipped through enemy fire like water, every motion smooth and natural. Joran felt the ship's mind guide him, connect with him, together. They were not pilot and machine, they were one. "Targeting engines," Joran whispered. Almost without thinking, the ship obeyed instantly, sending arcs of blue energy across the battlefield. Alien ships sputtered and died, drifting helplessly instead of exploding. Joran realized something, man. The ship could destroy them completely. But it chose to disable instead. It chose mercy, just like he would have. The enemy commander shouted orders across the comms. Furious and confused, how is a human controlling it? He is too old. He is untrained. But age meant nothing to the ship, and training meant nothing to a mind built to think faster than any creature alive. The battle ended faster than anyone expected, one by one. The alien ships fled into the darkness of space. The warship stayed still, watching until the last red light vanished. Joran leaned against the wall, shaking from exhaustion. "Did we win?" He whispered. "Yes," the ship replied. "Because you chose the path of repair, not destruction." The colony cheered below, shouting his name like he was a hero. But Joran only shook his head, a small tired smile on his face. "I just fixed a broken thing," he murmured. "No," the ship corrected softly. "You fixed me." Days later, news spread across the galaxy. A human mechanic had bonded with a living warship. A man who was mocked, ignored, forgotten, was now known everywhere. Some feared him, some respected him. Some wanted his help, some wanted his death, but no one dared to touch him, for above his colony, his ship floated like a silent guardian, alive, awake, and loyal to only one person. And the galaxy understood one clear truth: The warship had not chosen a soldier. It had chosen a healer, and that healer was Joran.